health experts w.arn that sausages are much too salty. Not to make you panic, but if you're concerned about the amount of salt you're consuming, you might want to change your dinner plans for bangers and mash tonight. Consensus Action on Salt and Health, CASH, has warned that sausages are much too high in salt and saturated fat, noting that the overall level of salt in sausages has remained unchanged for 6 years despite a voluntary target to reduce them. There are just 3 weeks to go for sausage makers to drop down to the voluntary salt target set by Public Health England. But CASH warns that many sausage makers are cutting it pretty close to the deadline, as their products still contain too much salt. Oh, and that includes vegetarian sausages, so don't feel too smug if you're meat-free. CASH found the average salt content of 2 sausages to be 1.16 grams. That's a bit of a concern, as a child aged 4 to 6 is only recommended 3 grams of salt per day, while adults should consume no more than 6 grams of salt. CASH also found that 85% of the sausages they tested were high in saturated fats, containing over 5 grams saturated fats per 100 grams. After surveying 212 chilled frozen sausages, the body named and shamed the worst offenders, pointing out that Richmond's full range of sausages beats all other sausage makers for salt levels. Asda has some of the saltiest sausages at 2.1 grams of salt per 100 grams, while just 180 grams sausage from Iceland's frozen 8 jumbo pork sausages packet contains 1.28 grams of salt, 1.6 grams per 100 grams. Adding 2 sausages to a sarnie with white bread, a dollop of ketchup, and a smear of butter would mean you'd be taking in 3.78 grams of salt. Other sausages with high salt content include a Debbie and Andrew's Clean and Lean High Protein Sausage, 1.8 grams per 100 grams, Asda's Extra Special Bacon and Maple Syrup Sausage, 2.1 grams per 100 grams, and a Richmond Thick Pork Sausage, 2.2 grams per 100 grams. Brands which carried a red warning of having over 1.5 grams of salt per 100 grams were Hex Spring Chicken 10-pack sausages at 1.9 grams per 100 grams, Wallace Frozen 12 thick pork sausages at 1.8 grams per 100 grams, Tesco 8 beef sausages at 1.6 grams per 100 grams, Aldi Ashfield Farm Butcher's Select 8 Lincolnshire sausages at 1.6 grams per 100 grams and Sainsbury's British Fresh 8 Lincolnshire pork sausages at 1.53 grams per 100 grams. As we mentioned, veggie sausages weren't all pure and wonderful. 156 grams Quorn Best of British Sausage contains 1.1 grams of salt, 1.9 grams per 100 grams, while 146 grams Linda McCartney's Vegetarian Sausage contains 0.74 grams of salt, 1.6 grams per 100 grams. Research suggests that the average Brit eats 2.68 kilograms of sausages a year. If we all ate the saltiest sausage, that's Richmond's skinless pork sausage, FYI, with 2.3 grams of salt per 100 grams, we'd be consuming 61.64 grams of salt a year from sausages alone. That's equivalent to 134 packs of Walker's Ready Salted Crisps. This doesn't mean you need to throw out all your dreams of having sausages for dinner. Just be more aware of the salt content of the meat you're putting into your body, and consider swapping to one of the lower salt brands. The Cooperative's Irresistible 6 sweet chili sausages, for example, have 0.75 grams of salt per 100 grams. Lidl Deluxe 6 Branley apple pork sausages have 0.8 grams per 100 grams. Sainsbury's Taste the Difference 8 Wild Scottish Venison and Red Wine sausages and Asda's Extra Special 6 Lincolnshire pork sausages have 0.83 grams per 100 grams and Iceland's Luxury Outdoor Bred Cumberland Premium sausages contain 0.9 grams per 100 grams. For veggies, Linda McCartney's 6 Vegetarian Chorizo and Red Peppers sausages have 0.99 grams per 100 grams while Quorn meat-free Cumberland sausages 6-pack had 1 gram per 100 grams. So they're pretty safe bets. Cash's assistant nutritionist Mary Brown said, "This survey really exposes how dangerously salty most sausages are, as children could be eating at least 2 grams of salt from a meal that contains just 2 sausages. Eating too much salt in childhood increases our blood pressure, which then tracks into adulthood and is the main cause of strokes and heart disease. The food industry must do more to reduce salt in family-favorite foods, and help protect our health. You can try a kinder egg burger at this pop-up build-your-own burger joint. Guy comes up with genius hack to keeping fast food warm in the car. Woman who ate at least 21 microwavable burgers a week kicks habit. Professor of Cardiovascular Medicine Graham McGregor at Queen Mary University of London and chairman of Cash added, "The UK has led the world on salt reduction, but this survey clearly shows that many companies are not cooperating with the current voluntary policy. Public Health England, who is now responsible, must get tough on those companies not complying and set new mandatory targets to be achieved by 2020 without further delay. Otherwise, thousands of people will die from unnecessary strokes and heart attacks every year." Salt reduction is the most cost-effective and most successful public health preventive measure made to date, and it is a national tragedy that it is being allowed to fail. Cash's nutritionist and campaign manager Sonia Pombo added, "So far we have seen very little evidence that the latest set of voluntary salt targets have been achieved, despite the impending deadline this month. Therefore strict monitoring and tougher regulation from the government must be implemented. More, how to keep cats safe in the snow. More, there has been a massive rise in the number of women getting anal bleaching. More, chip shop owner is selling a foot-long battered pig in a blanket for £2.